Good morning, class, and welcome to the next lecture of Operations Management. Last time we discussed a few things about operations management. We were so basically started with the topic of network diagrams, right? So we'll just continue on that topic of network diagrams, and we will go through that. Uh, we'll go through what kind of things need to be estimated using network diagrams, and then we'll look at the CPM technique, and we'll talk about the advantages and limitations of this technique and so on. So before that, I just would like to give you a quick walkthrough of the network techniques. Okay, so we'll just do a quick revision of what we discussed last time. Okay. So I'll start with the 6 steps involved in the PERT technique. Okay, so the 6 steps involved in the PERT and CPM technique. We are not going to do PERT. We will only do the CPM technique. CPM stands for critical path method. Okay, so there are 6 steps involved when you're using the critical path method. The first step is define the project and prepare work breakdown. Okay? So you start with defining what is the project, and you do a work breakdown of that project. So work breakdown is basically you list down all the activities which are involved in that project. Then you link all those activities, which basically means you develop the relationships between different activities, and you decide which activities will precede which activity, which basically means which activity will come first and which activity will come later on. Step number 3 is we draw network diagrams. Okay, so it's an activity on a node diagram. Okay. We'll discuss that shortly. Okay, so we draw the network diagram. Okay, and then we assign the time or cost estimates of each activity. So we have to assign how much time each activity is going to take and how much cost it is going to take as well. So we compute the longest time path through the network. This is called the critical path, and we use the network to help plan, schedule, monitor, and control the project. Okay, so we use this network to make a plan for our project, to schedule new activities, or to monitor and control if there are any shortcomings and so on. Okay, so CPM technique answers questions like when will the entire project be completed, what are the critical activities or tasks involved in the project, which are the non-critical activities involved, and what is the probability that the project will be completed. We don't do this part number 4, so we will ignore this. So we will stop at number 3 actually. So we will only answer the first 3 questions in CPM. Okay. Other than that, we also answer questions like is the project on schedule or behind schedule, or is the money spent equal to, less than, or greater than the budget? Are there enough resources available to finish the project on time? Okay, so we have to make sure whenever we are planning a project, we have to make sure from the beginning that we have the right resources to complete the project. That is very important. Okay. If the project must be finished in a shorter time, what is the way to accomplish this at the least cost? Okay, so our goal is to accomplish maximum with the least cost. Okay, so we want to achieve the maximum possible with the least amount of cost. Okay, so it is important that we keep our cost at a minimum level. At the same time, we also want to make sure that we complete a project in the shortest time possible. Okay, so these are some of the diagrams. Okay, so we are mainly concerned with activity on node diagrams. Okay, because these are the diagrams which are used in the CPM technique. Okay, we will not talk about activity on arrow diagrams anymore because that is used in PERT. We are not going to do that. Okay, so activity on node diagram basically tells which activity precedes which activity. So like in the first diagram, you can see that activity A comes before activity B, and activity B is followed by activity C. And it's very important to remember that activity B can only start after activity A has ended. Okay. So the next activity in the activity or node diagrams or in the CPM technique, the next activity only begins when the previous activity has ended. Okay, so that means B will only begin after A has ended. Similarly, C will only begin after B has ended. Okay, and in the second network diagram, you can see that uh, activity C is dependent on activity A and B. यानी कि after activity A is performed and after activity B is performed, then activity C is performed. Okay? So activity C can only start after activity A and B are complete. In number C, we can see that activity B and C, they are both dependent on activity A. यानी कि activity B will only start after activity A has been completed, and activity C will only start after activity A has been completed. Similarly over here, activity D will only start after activity A and activity B have been completed, and activity C will only start after activity A and B have been completed. In this one, activity C only starts after activity A has been completed, and activity C also only starts after activity B has been completed. Okay, so activity C basically starts after both activity A and B have been completed. As goes for activity D, it will only start after activity B has been completed. Okay, so activity D is only dependent on activity B. And this is another activity or node diagram. So it shows basically that the activity C will only begin after activity A has ended, and activity D will only begin after activity B and activity C have been finished. Okay, so this gives you an example of the different activities which are performed in Milwaukee paper manufacturing. So Milwaukee paper mills, yeah, Milwaukee paper manufacturing is the business we are talking about. Like we said, it's in the business of making paper and some other stuff. Okay, so the different activities which are involved is activity A is it involves building internal components. Activity B is to modify roof and floor. Activity C is construct collection stack. Activity D is pour concrete and install frame. Activity E is build high temperature burner. Activity F is install pollution control system. Activity G is install air pollution device. Activity H is inspect and test. Okay, so this is AON activity or node network diagram for Milwaukee paper manufacturing. Okay, so we start with the dummy activity, which is the start activity. So this start activity, we call it a dummy activity because it does not actually exist. Okay, we just put the start activity in place to tell that there is a starting point for all the activities. Okay, so this activity is the starting point for all the activities which will follow it. Okay, so this activity starts at time 0, it ends at time 0. Okay, and okay, so if we complete this diagram, we can see that okay, activity C is followed by activity A, and activity D is followed by activity A and B. Okay, so activity A and B, they both precede activity D, and activity C is preceded only by activity A. Okay. Precede basically means to come before. And like I said, it is important that we realize, yeah, we understand that activity D can only be performed after both activity A and B have been completed. जो एक्टिविटीज़ पहले आती है उनका कंप्लीट होना ज़रूरी है. ठीक है, जब तक पिछली एक्टिविटीज़ कंप्लीट ना हो, नेक्स्ट एक्टिविटी कैन नॉट बिगिन. Okay, similarly we can see that activity G is followed by activity D and E. So activity G can only start after D and E have been completed. उसी तरह activity F है, it is followed by activity C. So F can only begin after activity C has been completed. Activity F is followed by activity H, and activity H is followed by activity G. ठीक है, so this is the AOA diagram, activity on arrows. We will not do this. Okay. ठीक है, so when we are doing the CPM analysis, it is called actually critical path method. So we also call it the critical path analysis. So when we are doing the critical path analysis, we need to understand that the critical path is the longest path through the network. Okay, so critical path is the longest path through the network, and it is also the shortest time in which the project can be completed. Okay, any delay in critical path activities delays the project. If there is any delay in the critical path activities, it will affect the entire project. So it will cause delays. Critical path activities have no slack time. Okay, we will talk about slack time shortly. Okay, for the time being, you need to just remember this statement that critical path activities have no slack time. Okay, so we want to perform a critical path analysis of all these activities, and over here you can see that the completion time of each activity is also be included here. It's not exactly completion time. Okay. It's the time it takes for the activity. So we call it actually activity time. Okay. So this is the total time it takes for the activity to complete. Okay. So like for example, the first activity, build internal components, takes 2 weeks. The second activity, modifying roof and floor, it again takes 3 weeks. And number C is construct collection stack, it takes 2 weeks. Pour concrete and install frame takes 4 weeks. Activity E, build high temperature burner, takes 4 weeks. Install pollution control system takes 3 weeks. Install air pollution device takes 5. Inspect and test takes 2 weeks. Okay, so these are some of the statements which we defined in the previous class as well. Okay, so earliest time ES, okay, earliest time in short is ES. It is equal to earliest time at which an activity can start, assuming all predecessors have been completed. उसके बाद we have the earliest finish time. It is equal to earliest time at which an activity can be finished. Then we have the latest start, latest time at which an activity can start so as not to delay the completion of the entire project. LF is the latest finish time by which an activity has to be finished so as not to delay the completion time of the entire project. Okay, so this is our diagram. We normally draw this diagram to denote the different times. Okay. Also on the left hand side you can see we have the ES, early start activity, and the latest start activity. This symbol, this is the activity symbol, it denotes the activity. And then on the right hand side we have the earliest finish time EF and the latest finish time F, and this 2 is the activity duration. Okay, so this 2 comes actually from this area, okay, from this table. So we call this time period. Your time period weeks में दिया, but it's actually the activity duration. Okay, so when you're doing the critical path analysis, we use 2 methods in that. One is the forward pass and the other one is backward pass. So what is the forward pass method? Basically, in the forward pass, we begin at the starting event and work forward. Okay, so basically we go from left to right in the forward pass. So जो activity सबसे पहले आती है, we begin with that activity and then we move on from there. Okay. So these are some important rules you need to remember. Earliest start time rules हम पहले भी कर चुके हैं. So if an activity has only a single immediate predecessor, its ES equals the EF of the predecessor. Okay. If an activity has multiple immediate predecessors, its ES is the maximum of all the EF values of its predecessors. Yes, in case an activity has multiple immediate predecessors, तो उसका जो ES होता है early start time, it's the maximum of the earliest finish time of all predecessors. Earliest finish time of an activity is the sum of its earliest start time and its activity time. Okay, so this is a circle which is showing the EF of activity A. So on the left hand side we have the ES of activity A, on the right hand side we have the EF of activity A. And remember, EF of activity A is equal to ES of activity A plus the total activity time, which is this. Okay. And this symbol actually denotes the activity, which activity it is. So we have a number of activities like A, B, C, D. So this is activity A. Okay, so this is again the circle which shows the ES and EF of activity B. So from this symbol we can see this is the activity B, and the ES of activity B is 0. EF of activity B is again equal to ES of B plus 3. So this is the ES of B. So EF of B is actually equal to the ES of B plus 3. So this is the ES of B, और इसमें हम ये 3 ऐड कर दें, ठीक है. 0 plus 3 is equal to 3. Okay, because EF of B is equal to ES of B plus 3. So ES of B is 0, यहाँ से 0 आ जाता है, इसमें हम 3 ऐड करें तो we get this. Okay. So this is the ES EF network for Milwaukee paper. हर एक्टिविटी का उन्होंने एक सर्कल बनाया हुआ है, और उस सर्कल में we can see what is the EF and ES and the activity duration of each activity. ठीक है. So start activity is the dummy activity, which basically means a dummy activity is one activity, या a dummy activity is that activity which does not actually exist. इसको हम we just put it to show that it is the starting activity. ठीक है. The starting activity या the dummy activity especially, it has a ES of 0 and EF of 0, and it also has the activity duration of 0. उसके बाद नेक्स्ट एक्टिविटी आती है विच इज़ एक्टिविटी ए, और फिर वहाँ पर सा एक्टिविटी बी है. एक्टिविटी ए के बाद एक्टिविटी ए इज फॉलोड बाय एक्टिविटी सी. ठीक है. तो एक्टिविटी सी के बाद एक्टिविटी डी आती है, एंड एक्टिविटी डी का जो ई एस है, ठीक है, दिस वैल्यू, दिस इज द मैक्सिमम ऑफ, इट इज एक्चुअली द मैक्सिमम ऑफ EF of all preceding activities. ठीक है. इसको भी हम देखते हैं. So again ये जो EF है आपका, EF of activity number D, it is equal to the maximum of the EF of all preceding activities. ठीक है. D की preceding activities कौन सी है? There are mainly two preceding activities. एक है activity B और activity B. ठीक है. So activity D only has two preceding activities. One is activity A and activity B. और activity A का जो है EF क्या है? So you can see from here इसका EF क्या है? ठीक है. It's 2. और activity B का EF क्या है? It is 3. ठीक है. इन दोनों के EF में जो maximum EF होगा वो यहाँ पे activity D का ES हो जाएगा. ठीक है. यानी ये 2 और 3 में जो मैक्सिमम है वो यहाँ पे आ जाएगा. दैट विल बी द ES ऑफ एक्टिविटी डी. ठीक है. और उसका EF हो जाएगा 3 plus 4 विच इज इक्वल टू 7. ठीक है. तो सिमिलरली उसके बाद ये कंप्लीट चार्ट बन गया फिर एक. ठीक है. तो D के बाद E आता है. ठीक है. एक्टिविटी E इज एक्चुअली फॉलोड बाय एक्टिविटी C. ठीक है. तो ठीक है. अगर बिकॉज एक्टिविटी ई से पहले सिर्फ एक एक्टिविटी है, इसलिए एक्टिविटी ई का जो ES है इट विल बी एग्जैक्टली इक्वल टू द EF ऑफ एक्टिविटी सी. ठीक है. अगर एक्टिविटी किसी भी एक्टिविटी से पहले एक ही एक्टिविटी आ रही हो तो उस एक्टिविटी का EF जो है वो अगली एक्टिविटी का ES बन जाता है. ठीक है. एंड सिमिलरली यू कैन सी द रेस्ट ऑफ द नेटवर्क डायग्राम फ्रॉम हियर एज वेल. ठीक है. F का भी हाल है बिकॉज F से लेकिन F का ये F से पहले F से पहले भी सिर्फ एक ही एक्टिविटी आ रही है, इसलिए 4 इक्वल है. ठीक है. इसी तरह 8 से पहले 2 एक्टिविटीज़ हैं, सो इट विल टेक द मैक्सिमम ऑफ 7 and 30, which will be 13 over 8. ठीक है, बैकवर्ड पास से हम क्या करते हैं, उल्टा चलते हैं. ठीक है, वी आर इन बैकवर्ड पास. फॉरवर्ड पास में क्या होता है, वी बिगिन एट द स्टार्टिंग एक्टिविटी. ठीक है, इन दिस केस इट्स अ डमी एक्टिविटी, वी स्टार्ट फ्रॉम हेयर एंड देन वी मूव ऑनवर्ड्स फ्रॉम हेयर. यानी कि इन द फॉरवर्ड पास वी गो फ्रॉम लेफ्ट टू राइट. स्टार्टिंग एक्टिविटी शुरू करके विल मूव राइट वर्ड्स. ठीक है, यहाँ से शुरू करके हम इस तरह जा रहे हैं. ठीक है, इस तरह इस तरह इस तरह. ठीक है, बेसिकली वी आर स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम हेयर एंड मूविंग राइट वर्ड्स. ठीक है, और उसके बाद जो बैकवर्ड पास होता है, बैकवर्ड पास में वी go in the opposite direction. We start with the last activity which is H and we will move backwards from here. ठीक है, H F G E इस तरह जाएंगे. ठीक है, इस तरह. ठीक है, so we'll start with the last activity and we'll move leftward from there. ठीक है. So backward pass में we actually calculate the latest start time and the latest finish time. Okay? तो latest finish time का rule ये है कि if an activity is an immediate predecessor for just a single activity, its LF equals the LS of the activity that immediately follows it. ठीक है? So if an activity is an immediate predecessor for just a single activity, उसका जो LF है वो अगली LS एक्टिविटी के बराबर हो जाता है. ठीक है, इसकी अभी हम करेंगे एग्जांपल आगे. ठीक है, if an activity is an immediate predecessor to more than one activity, its LF is the minimum of all LS activities. ठीक है, ठीक है. लेटेस्ट स्टार्ट टाइम LS of an activity is the difference of its latest finish time LF and its activity time, which is given by the formula LS. Latest start time is equal to latest finish time minus activity time. ठीक है. ठीक है, so again these circles बनाए हुए हैं, and in the backward pass we are actually going to start from the activity age. ठीक है, so ठीक है, सो यू कैन सी दैट यहाँ पे जो उसका EF है, ठीक है, इट इज़ इक्वल टू 15. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे LF एंड EF दे आर बोथ इक्वल. ठीक है, तो एक्टिविटी एज के बाद विल गो टू द उससे जो पहले एक्टिविटी है विच इज़ एक्टिविटी G. ठीक है, तो हम एक्टिविटी G पे जाएंगे इसके बाद. ठीक है, जी पे आ जाए तो हमारे पास जो है ना इसका ई एफ जो है वो 13 हो जाता है। ठीक है, ठीक है, तो इसका ई एफ जो है बेसिकली